Hello and welcome back. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more of our campaign in Factorio. We're going to go for raw speed module 4s. So we now have cut topazes, sapphires, etc. Now we need to polish them. We need polishing wheels, polishing compound. And then we are finally ready to start making the fancy pants stuff. So to make polishing wheels, it's just steel and wood or synthetic wood and steel. So that's pretty darn easy. We can make those. Okay. Raw speed 4s are already done. Nice. Raw speed 5s require speed 5s. So let's do somewhere near a beacon. A requester chest. You're going to make the polishing wheels via regular wood. We're probably going to want to just make some regular wood here, rather than have it ferried in, because we have more wood, I think, in the system than we have other stuff. Yeah, I've got 61 wood and 79,000 raw wood. So you're going to make me some wood via wood. You are going to go from here to there. We're going to request what you need here, and you're going to drop off there. So nice and quick and like 45-degree angle turns. We'll bump that up to like 200. Speed 5s are done. Let's do effectivity or raw speed 5s. You're going to need steel, so actually I should do this in a different order. We should do, it really doesn't matter. An extra requester chest is not going to hurt much. You're going to request the steel. We'll put that up to 200. You're going to request and drop off. There's those guys. You're going to output into a passive provider. Power is a bit of a concern right now. You are going to have a gate on you of polishing wheels less than 1,000. Raw productivity, please. Raw productivity, please. Okay, so that makes the polishing wheels. The polishing compound comes from base mineral oil and alumina, and it's made in a chemical plant. So that's going to be... We actually have a ton of that crap. The mineral oil, at least. The alumina, maybe not so much. But the mineral oil is actually one of the things that's capping me out right now on this. So, and the alumina was made right there. And there's still some. Looks like the production's not keeping up. We should be using better furnaces for this anyway. At this point. So you're wanting the bauxite, of which there is some. He's trying to drop off the wrong piece of material. And you're also wanting some of this stuff, which is currently not available to you. That does not look the same. Because it's not. Well, he should keep on running for a while. I think there's room here if I do this. Now that we're requesting that, these can go back to active providers. Okay, so we don't need to request carbon anymore, I don't think. That was just a source of fuel for a while. So we got the bauxite ore coming in, making this. It's on productivity. There's no beacon here yet. There probably should be. At least one. Alright, so that's all being done fairly well. Next, we're going to go over to here. We're going to do speed 6s, and we need a base mineral oil plus the aluminum in a chemical plant. So, go like near this beacon. Sure, that sounds good. We'll cut that line there. And you're going to make me some polishing compound. You're going to be gated on the polishing compound. Less than 1,000. And you need some productivity. You can't hold very many. That is a chemical plant 3. I believe I can make chemical plant 4s. I can. I just don't have any nitinol. Haven't worked on the nitinol or the electronic processing boards yet. So, yeah, raw speed 6 sounds good. And you need to request the alumina. So that should happen. Those get delivered in a second, and that's our polishing compound. And now we're ready for the final step of the doodads. Once we have the doodads, we can make the modules. Once we have the modules, then the factory can continue to get more efficient. I should still also go around and figure out, like, where all my power's going. It's pretty much the robots and, the 20 megawatts of static energy drain, because I've got this perimeter laser grid. I mean, that's a thing, too. So we got all this stuff. Next up is the polished. So we take the cut topaz, mix them with the polishing wheel, the polishing compound. I'm gonna do, and what type of machine is it in? Any one of those, okay. So we're gonna take 6 of these. We're gonna line them up like up here. We'll just go like up here. I don't care about the distance. We're going to have an input for each of these things from this warehouse. But we're going to do a little bit better this time. We've got 3 sets of 2s. We're going to go a splitter here, a splitter here, and a splitter here. And these are going to be the feeds for the mixture of other crap that they need. So there's your other crap feed. And then each of you need your own special feed from the warehouse. So that's those. So that means that this is going to be a splitter, not a splitter, two requester chests. One of them is going to be the polishing compound. One of them is going to be the other thing related to polishing. I don't remember what it's called. Polishing wheel. So it's going to split, go into these machines, starting left to right. We're going to go that one, then that one, this one, this one, this one, this one. This whole thing needs to go underground. Okay. And then somehow we gotta hook these guys all up. How do we get you up into there? Rats. Hmm. There. Okay, so that's all your junk. You all got junk? Good. Everyone's got junk. Good. Modules. Beacon. At least one beacon, just to make them efficient, right? Actually, I prefer for them to be like right on the edge. With the speed 3. And then we'll do a power thing. And surprise, surprise, it's going into a warehouse. That's not going to work, is it? No, it's not. So these recipes actually seem to take a little while. But, good news is, that means we now have polished rubies, polished sapphires, polished amethysts, all that fancy junk. Yay. What can we do with all that fancy junk? Well, we can make productivity 5s. And probably all the other types of modules now as well. So if we go down to, not here, not here, not here, not here, but here, we can see, yay! He's getting his polished topazes. So you should probably have some productivities in you. Also, we have no beacon affecting this area yet. There's actually a good number of productivity 4s now. Start requesting productivity, raw productivity 5. Start upgrading the tiers. We will go here. You know what? I'm going to start working on this thing. I'm going to start doing the singular system so that we can just blueprint it and change the recipes, hopefully. So, how are we going to make this work? Can we request everything from this one chest for these first tiers? Possibly. You should actually probably go like 1, 2, 3, 4 though, because they're more likely to use the right components. So how about you switch over to tier 3, and you be tier 4. And then you can be 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll go 5, 6, 7, and 8. We'll start by requesting that. We'll start by putting raw productivity 5s into there for now. You need to be gated based on the raw productivity 1s. Here's the thing, I don't really want 50 of each type sitting around. I just want them to be upgraded, so do we even want to leave the intermediary step available? Probably not. I do like the 2x2 grid. We can fit a lot of stuff in here. So we request all the stuff that you need. We have you just, you know, feed that machine. And then instead of feeding this machine, you feed across directly. You feed from the requester directly into this guy. We add solder to your requester. Let's see. Take my default crafting requirement. You only require one of each, and it's doing 20, so 20x. You require 2x, so it should only be really requesting 40 of this. And again, you also require module contacts. Okay, once you've turned out a raw productivity 2, it should go directly into the machine nearby. And that means we need to also from this chest request the productivity logic boards, effectivity and cleaning logic boards. Solder and transistors. See, we're running out of stuff. Yeah, I don't know that I can make this nice little thing with a single requester chest, but we could just do a second requester chest. We could have 2 requester chests per segment. Like this. Have the requests for the top 2 machines be handled by one chest, and then the bottom 2 machines be handled by this. So you request everything there except for those. And then to that, we'll need to add in the integrated electronics. The solder's already requested, integrated electronics. Logic boards are already requested. Productivity, effectivity, pollution cleaning. Okay. So you feed across to the 3s. You need to request or like take directly from that machine. So like this. You need to go directly into the tier 4. Now we have our tier 4 getting fed. He needs to feed from the secondary requester chest, which gives him hopefully everything that he needs. Now once these 4s are done, I guess they could go into this chest. Or we could try to feed them across. But this is really a beacon corridor, so I don't want to do that. I guess this is where we do use the robots then to try to make it work. So you're going to grab the 4s into the chest, and then over here we will allow the modules to be requested. So, next. Same basic idea. We'll go 2 of those, 1 of these. We request everything that you need, including the... no, you're building it wrong. That's the wrong recipe anyway. You're supposed to be making them direct. Wait a second. What happened to my recipe? Oh, do they require so many components that I need a more advanced machine? 5, 6. There it is. 7 and 8. My god, look at all the parts. Look at all the crap that goes into making a productivity 8. That is so many. It's 10 different components. Anyway, so you're going to request this stuff. And we will allow the raw productivity 4 to be part of that request. We can copy-paste some of these things. In fact, because of the order, I think I can actually copy-paste all of the inserters. Should work. There's no filters on them, but that's okay. Okay, so you've got the stuff. It's coming in. You are going to need processing boards, which are not requested. This might not end up working because the... Well, no, I think I can make it work. You request all this stuff. This one's the secondary requester. It's going to request... Not those, though. So the processing boards... The module contacts, the polished emerald, CPU, solder, all that junk is requested here. He might just need access to an extra one of these chests. Polished sapphires. We can sneak in here. Before any of this stuff really gets turned online any huge amount, I kind of want to make sure it's all moduled up. Okay, so the thing you're lacking are the raw productivity 5s, which are here, crafted. We're missing out on effectivity logic boards, pollution cleaning logic boards. The pollution cleaning logic boards, there's some, so they are being made, right? Yeah, they are being made, they're just not being delivered because of other stuff. You need the productivity processing board. None of this stuff is made yet. The processing boards I'm not doing, I know that for sure. So, that is a power shortage for sure. Power consumption is, it's just, I just haven't upgraded power in a long time. And I'm using robots a lot more. It's too bad you can't put, power stuff into roboports. You can make robots more efficient by upgrading them. I know I do have the tech to upgrade them. Well, for now, we got raw productivity 5s coming up pretty reasonably. You will eventually start feeding this machine. If I can get the productivity processing boards, which are being requested here, all of the types of processing boards are requested there. He's going to end up feeding him. So it's the same thing here. The 6s, and then those need to be requested. And then you just need, again, the same thing, plus the 7s, plus transistors, and diamond. So, transistors, and the diamond, polished diamonds. And then this is where we will finally gate the whole thing and say if we have less than 50, then you are allowed to work. The next step then is to go and do pollution cleaning processing boards, effectivity and productivity processing boards. I can do that. Okay, we'll throw our productivity 5s into these machines, because I'm sure that the components required are pretty high, and we would prefer to make them efficient. And whatever you need, and whatever you need. We don't have any module processor boards, I think. But that's going to probably be the gate on all of these things. Next up then is to just set some restrictions on these. So let's take the time to do that. You should be the activity processor boards. And you are actually going to be the... What is it? Module processor board. Ferric chloride solution. I feel like we did something like this near the ferric chloride solution area, didn't we? Those are the module logic boards, but not the module processor boards. There's almost room to fit this in, but not quite. Could do it right here. Plate and copper. It's not a huge amount of production. But with enough beacons, it will be. Alright, so we can get rid of that other one then. I'm just gonna go with that one. I know it's not a huge amount of production. It's probably not gonna keep things going, like, fully. This whole thing was the one I get rid of. But it's enough that we're gonna start making these things a little bit. Up to 50 of each, or 500 of each, I think I might have actually set the restriction at. Is that what I set the restriction at for the other types? No, I did do 50 on those. But I copy-pasted it from the wire, which is different. Darn it. This is one of the drawbacks to having these adjustable inserters, is that you have to just annoyingly either manually set them all, or, as someone had mentioned, use a combinator, but I don't really want to mess with combinators. I'll just update them all. Either that, or I could do a setup that doesn't have inserters that rotate funny, and then we could copy paste the settings. But all right, and it looks like we could probably use a speed beacon or two in this area. Despite the fact that we have very, very little power, because it's apparently nighttime already. Yeah, that would be solar. It's the middle of the night right now. Hard to tell, but it is nighttime. So that means then that these are working, and we do have raw productivity 8s being made. Some. So I'm going to now just stop requesting those and just go straight to raw productivity 8s. And of course, the first raw productivity 8s I think should go on the raw productivity 8 production. Self-fulfilling prophecy, right? we now have plus 200% productivity. So we make 3 for every 1. We make more from productivity than we do from the actual crafting, which is spectacular. And now we'll go back to the 7s. And then the 6s. Keep working our way down the chain. I think the high end first makes more sense to me. Is every robot being used right now? No, but there's 2,900 of them. We got like 5,000 robots altogether. Since this is functional now, I'm going to shut down the older one because I don't think that they have the productivity, and also I want to make sure we're using the best machines we can. So this whole thing, we're just going to go down to a single machine. It's making these on a nice high productivity chain. It's beautiful. Plus 40% times 5 of them. Next up is to do the same thing with the raw speed. Upgrade the beacons to tier 3. And then once we have module production completely, like, kicking ass, then start focusing on launching rockets, I think. So, cool. I'm gonna take a break here. I'll be back in the next episode, though. So, as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in a bit.